Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down industry headlines, provide some actual insight into this industry to keep people in business. That's what we're all about here, you guys. We're about that 97% of this industry that is small business. And frankly, it's why I proudly fly the American flag behind me every single day, is because I want everyone to live out their American dream like I am doing currently. Also, you know, we're going to start doing something a little bit different on the show every single day. We're going to open up with some questions. Anybody who has any sales or operations related questions for the trucking industry or the transportation industry, drop them in the comments. I will answer them. If you're on LinkedIn, or if you're watching this over on YouTube or over on Facebook, drop them in the comments, or else if you're on one of the social media platforms, DM me these as well, and I'll get to them and start answering some questions for everybody every single day. I want to, again, try and increase the value of all the content that we're doing. For those of you who have been following me for a while, know I used to do those like little daily videos. And I think that for me, this is a great way to incorporate what brought me here into what I'm doing currently, to continue to bring that value back to the audience. So again, if you have any sales or operations related questions to the freight brokerage or trucking community, drop them in the comments. I will answer them as we go. And the comments are already filling up over here on LinkedIn, you guys. And yeah, but before we get into all the fun shit today, got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub. They're the ones who keep this neon light shining bright every single day for us, you guys. VHubApp.com. Hit them up. We all need access to trailers, whether you're a carrier, a broker, or a shipper alike. At some point, you're going to need them, and they have a very seamless transaction available for you. And then, frankly, right now, with the rising fuel costs and everything else that are out there, drivers, you shouldn't have to shut down your operation if your trailer's in the shop for a week or anything like that. And they pay you to move these trailers. That's the best part. It'll help with fuel, maintenance, everything. Right now, with what they're working on, you guys, if you're down in Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida, to go up to Messina, New York, you get paid $1,500 to do this. And that is on top of the freight that you can book out and load out in that trailer. They also have them in Clearfield, Utah, going to Henderson, Colorado, $700 to do that. And then also on Fontana, California, going up to Auburn, Washington, you get paid $750 to do that. And that's going to be going into one of the hottest freight markets coming out here to close out the year, guys. It's going to be up in the Pacific Northwest. We got that fall produce push followed up by Christmas tree season and everything else, as we know. So you want to get your trucks up there, you guys. It's going to be a lucrative move. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. And we got some shout outs in the audience already. Scott, what's up, Freight Sensei? He's already here. Zach Williams, he's with SPI Logistics, you guys. If you guys want to become a freight agent, take control of your financial future, hit them up, spi3pl.com. Devon, good morning, sir. Bob, what's going on? Good morning. Sunny Sharma, let's fucking go. You are correct. Connor Foster, let's go. Dan Penrod, good to see you, my man. Ricky, what's up? She's from Freight Vana, you guys. If you guys aren't following a company like Freight Vana right now, if you guys are like, we were talking about content yesterday on the show with my friend Michelle LeBlanc. Freight Vana is one of those companies I give just a ton of props to. They're all over social media. If you're looking to build your brand right now, they're doing a great job of leveraging their like the people individually as well as the business itself. I think this is a solid playbook on what to do to get started in it, because they're highlighting their people and the company itself. Freight Vana, you guys, I dropped them a follow. Drew Driscoll, happy day. Let's fucking go, son. I love it, man. Cody Kohler, what's up, brother? Dude, Cody, we got to get together here, man. It's getting a little bit cooler out here in the desert after today. We can finally play golf. We've only been talking about it for a year now. Rob Cameron, good morning, sir. Ty McKinney, good morning from Fort Worth, Texas. What's going on, brother? Hey, as always, if you're a truck driver and you're watching this stuff, drop your equipment in the comments where you're located at right now. And then any of my broker friends who are watching the show, if you can get some freight lined up for these guys as well, that would be fantastic. It's a way for us to, as always, build up this network, build up this community, and help elevate this industry, you guys. Let's see. We are at day 108 of the Freight Coach. It's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday today. Day 108 of the Freight Coach Tally. And that is just the subtle reminder of there being a truck parking issue as well as a facilities issue that is out there, you guys. And then Dan, Dan the driver, what's up, man? Your comment just came through, sir. I am not here, he says. Oh, that's awesome. Let me see. We got Pat Green. Good morning. Bill McIntyre. Good morning, sir. Hey, also just a subtle reminder, the fact that fuel is still well over $5 a gallon, $5.08 a gallon. Yeah, it did drop a little bit, but we're still up over there. It's up $1.71 year over year. Again, you guys, it's what can we do to keep people in business right now when fuel costs are rising, spot market rates are what they are, is we got to connect people to get them sustainable freight to keep people in business. Because that's what I'm all about, you guys. I'm all about that, is keeping people in business. I will never advocate for anybody to go out or talk about how the death of a carrier or any of that shit. We're here to keep people in business. Rob Cameron, he says he's got a 53-foot drive and he's based out of Richmond, Virginia, wants to run a 500-mile radius. Hit him up, rob at CameronCargo.com. Scott, if you got freight for him, or if anybody else out there has freight for Rob, you guys hit him up. 500-mile radius out of Richmond, Virginia. All right. Let's so I want to bring up something here, because in working with this happened to a couple of my clients here this week, you guys, and it's about insurance and verifying, because they both had some freight that was rejected due to reefer temperatures that were not held to where they are. And like, we really need to verify insurance documents and everything that's out there, you guys. Like, this is why in my company, Broker Carrier, with, we're a digital onboarding tool. That's why I have all of my clients and all of our users on there verify insurance and call and get listed as a certificate holder specifically to do all of this stuff. Because again, things can fall between the cracks. I don't ever want to see a broker remove themselves from that, because again, at the end of the day, if you've never had a rejected load before, if you've never had a rejected product before, due to a lot of this stuff, you don't know how to handle it. And, it was a lot of temperature related things. Is the loads were supposed to be temped at 34 degrees continuous, and the driver had them listed at cycle on there. So again, the product was rejected at the receiver. So again, what can you do differently, you guys? And again, it's like, to me, it's all about those load logs and stuff too. You have to have documented proof that it's listed on the rate confirmation. It's in the TMS. The driver is made aware of it. The dispatcher is made aware of it, that is at 34 degrees continuous. And every time you talk to that driver throughout transit, verify the temperature, verify this stuff. You guys, you need to document this and set yourselves up to protect yourselves, because when these things go wrong, you guys, the insurance company is not your friend. All right. They are not your friend. The customers, all of these things, like, they have a job to do and they're going to protect themselves. So I don't know why we would ever not skip over those things. I'm a firm believer, you guys, that it's always going to be the little details is what's going to set you apart. It's doing the little things repeatedly, time and time again, is what's going to help you build a successful business and a successful career. And, again, you can't overlook these things, you guys, especially when it comes down to refrigerated freight and everything else. And, even in my experience out there and moving open deck and heavy haul, you can't send in a driver with straps that needs chained and stuff like that. And all of that stuff. Like, you got to do the little details and work that stuff up, work it out on the front end, because it will literally cost you money on the back end if you do not do that. Again, as always, you guys, if you have any sales or operations related questions, drop them in the comments. I'll get to them on the show here today, or I will answer them. Again, I want to continuously think of ways that I can give back. And for those of you who are joining the show a little bit later in, like I said, I started off making little short clips early on, and just now this is how I will leverage my current content load while still not losing sight of what got me to this point. So again, any sales and operations related questions out there in the comments, drop them in there, and we will be more than happy to answer them over here. Jeff Bush, good man. I'm glad you like the content. Thanks for tuning in over there on YouTube, Jeff. Dominic, what's up? Good morning. Cody Kohler, he requires pictures of the reefer setting twice a day for all produce loads. That's good to know. Let me see here. Raul has a 2-pick 7-drop 1,400-mile load out of Palisade, Colorado, and finals in Miami. If anybody out there, dude, this can't be. Are we missing some digits there? a reefer. It's paying $2,000 to go from Colorado to Miami, 7 drops. I hope that was a mistake because it's like more than 2,000 miles, man. Let me see here. Dan Penrod, great product for shippers to use for shipment monitoring. He's talking about Tive for shippers. Yeah, this is a tractor trailer flatbed, correct? Not a Ram 3500. Yeah, that's another good one to put in there. Let me see here. All right, first article. This one was this came out on Labor Day, and I just saw this on one of my connections that put this out there. It was an article from Fox News released on Monday saying this is Labor Day, a grateful nod to the long haul truckers who keep America moving. And it talks. Let's see. It goes on. Truckers are among. I would say truckers are the key American workers who keep the country moving. At the end of the day, I know there's a lot of people in the blue. I would say the blue collar industry are the key jobs that keep America moving. And that's one thing that I want to see brought back into consideration is all of the hardworking men and women of the blue collar who do keep this amazing country moving that's out there. Professional truck drivers approximately are 3.6 million in the United States, according to the ATA, a National Trade Association for the industry. Trucking is the largest freight hauling industry in the country, the group reports. The National Truck Driver Appreciation Week is coming up this week and next week from September 11th through September 17th. A time for all Americans to pay respect for what they do. This is something that, again, we need to do this every week. We need to, again, it's not just like celebrating our truck drivers as you should every single week. We got to start fucking celebrating your fellow men and women who do everything that they can to fucking keep this world moving, you know? And this is a thing, like, I love Driver Appreciation Week, but it's one of those things that I want to see this happen 365 days out of the year. Ahead of that, in recognition of this, Fox News spoke with Guido Miller. He's a long-haul trucker out of Iowa about his career, its benefits and challenges, and the pride he feels in his job. And he started driving truck back in the late 90s. And they always, growing up, he remembers big rigs and traveling the highway and how he always got his attention, noting that truckers were definitely in the spotlight at the peak of the COVID pandemic. That Miller pointed out that it's the importance of the transportation industry was highlighted during the supply chain disruption. It was nice being labeled an essential worker and hearing their appreciation shown during that time. And then before he got on the road, the furthest west he had traveled was Omaha, he had said. And then now he's been through all 48, the lower 48 in Canada. He's been to places he probably would have never visited if it wasn't for this job. The benefits of trucking, the benefits are many, according to Miller, and that keep him in the driver's seats. There's a sense of camaraderie and brotherhood among drivers. He feels it's good to belong. It's also appealing to be on your own out here with no one looking over your shoulder, being independent and being your own boss, And, that was shit. That was one of the main things that my old man always talked about. That was his best, most favorite part about driving for as long as he did, is that he was out there by himself. He didn't have somebody looking over his shoulder every fucking 5 seconds telling him what he was or wasn't doing and everything else. But it also, he did talk about the challenges of the job. Is not without its hardships, of course. Every job has them. Long hours every day for weeks at a time. Spend 11 hours driving and up to 14 hours a day working. At that pace, a driver does close to 70 hours by the end of the week. And with the amount of time being spent in the rig, we have an unpredictable work schedule combined with infrequent and limited at-home time with spouses, kids, and friends and everything else. Yet he is grateful for the family support. And he says it's always been able to take a strong person and a special person to be a truck driver spouse, and he's lucky enough to have one of those. And it talks about the challenging work experiences out there. And the job isn't for everybody. It's not just what anybody can do or willing to do. It's what we do. And it is. It's a lonely job. And I know it's a job, and some people are always going to say one thing or another about it, and that people are choosing to do it. But it's, again, to me, it's about what the people do to make our country moving, because it's just like the farmers, thanking a farmer. When was the last time you went and thanked a farmer for plowing their fields and harvesting and everything like that, and that's the thing is it's like, I just want to see more of an appreciation for the real heroes of what's going on out there. And, it goes on to talk about, other things too. Traffic as being one of those things. And, he did say one of the positive things is over his career, he's finally starting to see that pay is definitely increasing, called it overdue. And, he was talking about retaining people in the industry and keeping them in the industry. and that, he's also said that the companies that he's driving for has also been a more frequent, a push for more home time and everything. And he likes the fact that the days of cross-country long haul being the norm have evolved into more regional runs, offering better work schedules for drivers and home time. And, he also talked about a lot of the benefits in technology and everything else. He gets his miles in there. And, he added that he enjoys weekly home time. He can spend more quality time with his family. And, it was a good article overall. This was one of my, it was well written and everything else. And I liked that they got out there and talked to the drivers and got out there and did that, because for me, it was fantastic to read it. And again, it's not just the American truck driver, whom I fucking respect a lot for the amount of work out there. Growing up as the son of a truck driver, I know it's a very hard job. But to me, again, it's like my overall mission with all this is to make the blue collar sexy again, the blue collar worker, bring in and highlight all that stuff. That's my long-term vision with a lot of this stuff. And that's where it's going to be one day. That article was from foxnews.com. And that was this Labor Day, a grateful nod to the long haul trucker who keeps America moving. And again, you guys check it out. All the links for the show, all the articles I break down, all the links are put up there on the Freight Coach YouTube channel, as well as the Coffee with the Freight Coach audio only podcast. And you can definitely do all of this and read all these articles out on your own. Good fucking morning, Cody Miller. He's in the audience. Driver Appreciation Week is almost here, and paid respect to the blue collar workers year round. Good morning, Chris Andrews. Let me see. Joshua Breeze, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, go smash that follow button out there, you guys. Notifies every time I go live. Sonny Sharma says, agreed. Whitney Fowler, you are late, but it's all right. You're an excused absence here, Whitney. Let me see. Facts. Thanks, Scott. Andrew Teal. Andrew Teal does hold the CDL still. He says the favorite parts of driving the piece, pick and delivery, actually driving, truck stop in the morning, comedians on Channel 19, hard work. Always will be there with the perks matched with his personality. Amen to that. Bree, what are we talking about here? Bring sexy back. I don't know. I've been working out. Okay. Jesus. I'll work out harder. Or are you talking about something else? I'm just playing. Let me see. The next article is from freightwaves.com. You guys, its transportation market loosens again in August. High inventories, low warehouse vacancies keep supply chain growing. Let me see here. The transportation market continued to loosen in August, according to supply chain data published Tuesday. The Logistics Manager Index showed capacity was up again, with prices in decline for the second straight month. And let me see here. While the growth rate was for the transportation capacity slowed, a reading of 64.3, the sub-index remained solidly into expansion territory. A reading above 50 indicates expansion, while one below 50 indicates contraction. August market for the fifth month in a row for capacity additions. The trend expected to hold as survey respondents return to the same number when pondering the capacity that's out there. Let me see here. Let me see. Inventory and warehousing prop up supply chain growth and everything else. Lowest level of growth. I'm just summarizing some of this stuff, you guys. And then the overall LMI fell just 1 point in August, but it was the first overall index drop below 60 since May of 2020, and the third month at the data set of 65.3. However, the increased inventories are keeping warehousing tight and costs high. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that out there a lot. A lot of the shippers that I'm connected with are, messaging me, and I'm seeing a lot of them putting it out there about additional warehousing space and key markets and everything else, if anybody knows of anything. Let me see. The talking about, because that's, I think a lot of it to me, like my professional opinion when it comes to limited warehousing space and everything else is, I think that there's going to be, again, shout out to you could hit up VHub, talk about some long-term rentals and maybe position that at your customers' facilities for some storage, additional storage. Freightvana, they got a bunch of trailers, stuff like that. It's like, with a lot of this information, you guys, it's just that thinking outside of the box. And you can't just rely on traditional methods in every single freight market that's out there, especially when, the freight market is operating the way it is right now. And, the spot market being what it is in certain markets, because again, it's like this, I'll continue to say this as much as I have to. The spot market national average is not the same for every market that's out there. It is, to me, there is profitable freight that is still moving. That is not on your traditional spot market, you guys. And I want you guys to take that into consideration. But what I'm seeing is when warehousing is filling up, and again, it's like it's in these major cities is where a lot of this stuff is, and nationwide even. But still, it's like, where is it going to transition to next? And that's the thing, is it's like, get out your crystal ball and see and bet on where it's going to go to next. You know, those secondary cities that I talk about all the time, that's where a lot of this stuff is going to inevitably transition down to. And that's going to be a whole new subsegment of customer freight that you're going to be able to get. So again, I would start, you can't just react. And that's my problem with the spot market for the most part, you guys, is when you rely on it, it's this heavy reactionary methodology associated with that. And I get it. There's going to be same day freight that comes across. All right. I understand that, but like, I think that the people who rely and only source their capacity on that, for me, being the forward thinker that I am and thinking long-term with a lot of this stuff and seeing that warehousing is tight in a lot of markets, I am going to start transitioning. I would start transitioning into other cities to try and find where is that market going to inevitably shift to. And the longer you've been in this industry, the better off you're going to be at kind of picking this up and seeing where that transition is going to be. But again, I'm seeing opportunity in this, because if they're storing it in a warehouse, it ain't going to sit there for long. They're going to eventually ship it out, whether it's to a distribution center or a liquidator or a retail store, or wherever that goes. So to me, I'm not saying that the freight market hasn't changed and it's not making a difference out there, but there's still opportunity that's out there, you guys. There's still freight that's moving, and there's still fucking money to be made. And you just got to ask yourself, is it going to be made with you or your competition? Because don't ever fucking quit, no matter what. The market shifts are going to happen. That article was from freightwaves.com. Transportation market loosens again in August. And this was the article that I was really looking forward to talking about a lot. I saw this on Bloomberg, and let me see. U.S. factory boom heats up as CEOs yank production out of China. The pandemic forced companies to rethink their supply chains. This is just economics, says one executive who made this move. I have been, see, this is why I need like a Jamie from fucking Joe Rogan, you know, because I said this earlier this year multiple times that I wanted to see this. I am unapologetically pro-American, you guys, and bringing jobs back to America. And this is the shit that I love to see. I love to see these jobs coming back here, these manufacturing jobs and everything else, because again, as we saw throughout the last 2 years, is that we don't have any control if another country shuts down or blocks anything. We don't have any control over that. So this is like why we need to be solely reliant on ourselves. We should be completely self-sufficient when it comes to manufacturing, warehousing, fucking everything, fuel. We should never have to ask anybody for anything. You know, again, I will not apologize for saying that America is the greatest nation on earth and we should fucking be solely independent. And then with all of our additional resources, get out there and help other people. I'm all about helping other people, but you know, you got to protect your house first, and then you can get out there and help other people. But again, like, I love seeing this. This is fucking fantastic to me. And, you know, again, we don't control what other people do or other countries do, and if they shut down. You know, so for me, this article, you know, there's been a sense of in financial circles that the fever among American executives to shorten the supply lines and bring production back home would be proved to be short-lived. And yet 2 years in, not only is the trend still alive, it's rapidly accelerating. Rattled by the most recent wave of lockdowns in China, the longtime manufacturing hub choice for multinational CEOs have been highlighting plans to relocate production using the buzzwords. I fucking hate this. Buzzwords of onshoring, reshoring, or nearshoring, excuse me, as a greater clip this year. They even did the first 6 months of what was going on, according to the review of earnings call that was out there. More importantly, these are concrete signs that many of them are acting on these plans. You know, again, it's like, even like just to tie in the other article that we broke down about the warehousing shortage and everything else, like this is going to help out with a lot of that stuff, is bringing a lot of these buildings back. Because not only does this create more local jobs, It creates more jobs for the people who are going to be building it, maintaining it, and everything else. You know, you got to think about like the trickle down effect of a lot of this stuff. If you build a brand new warehouse here where I live in Arizona, there's going to be, you know, the everybody from the people who build it, the construction workers, the guys who are laying the asphalt. Then you talk about the people who are now getting another job out there who do landscaping and shit like that. And they like then maintaining the outside of the building like that. There's a trickle down effect of doing this, you guys, and bringing all of these jobs back to America. You know, it's not just the manufacturing plant itself that is going to add more jobs. It's all of these secondary jobs that are because of these industrial parks being built up. You know, like this is fucking exciting shit. The construction in the US has soared 116%, which is fucking fantastic. Massive chip factories going up in Phoenix. Yeah, that's true. Intel, what they're talking about is building a massive fucking facility out here. And then aluminum and steel plants are being erected all across the South. You know, in Alabama, Osceola, Arkansas, even though it's pronounced Osceola where I'm from, in Osceola, Wisconsin, and in Brandenburg, Kentucky, up near Buffalo, all the semiconductor and steel output is fueling orders and air compressors will be cranked out. And the plant has been out of a plant that's been shuttered. So they're reopening these plants. And then scores of smaller companies are making similar moves, according to them. You know, in the past, and, you know, this is coming from an analyst out there, it was as simple as if we needed a new facility, it's going in China. Now he says it's being thrown away. It's never been done before. And, you know, more than 90% of those surveys said that they were either in the process of moving production out of China or plan to do so. And about 80% of them are considering bringing it back to the US, and also that Mexico has been a popular spot as well. Let me see here. And, you know, better and cheaper. I'm sorry. I saw Kevin. There's a Kevin Nolan I thought it was my man, Kevin Nolan with Nolan Transport Group. But this is Kevin Nolan, the CEO of GE Appliances, is all but fretting about the high cost of the U.S. is overdone. It has been for years, he said. And then around 2008, he came to realize that larger items like dishwashers and size on up, the savings earned by eliminating overseas shippings could outweigh the extra money spent on labor. And this is just absolutely fantastic. This is an article I would love for you all to read, especially in the transportation sector. When we're talking about jobs coming back here, that means more motherfucking freight to be moved. All right. There's more opportunities that are coming out here, you guys. And again, bringing jobs back to America is never a bad thing. It's fucking fantastic. You know, it's just like everything. Like, we should never have to ask any country for anything. We should all have it done here first and foremost. And then we could, you know, export business and do that. I mean, fuck, I think if you think that this is a bad idea, I don't fucking know how you think this is a bad idea, but this is a phenomenal idea. We should not have any reliance on that shit. And again, like everything that we're seeing at the ports, the backups and everything else that had happened, other countries closing down, that should never fucking stop us. All right. Never in a million years should we have a bare shelf because something's delayed in manufacturing because of a reliance on it being done in a foreign country. All right. I love it. I fucking love that article. That was from Bloomberg.com. U.S. factory boom heats up as CEOs yank production out of China. And you can't end a show on a higher note, in my opinion. Whitney Fowler dropping the American flag out there. Amen to that. And Sonny Sharma, hell yes, bring the work back to the U.S. A fucking men to that, Sonny. Amen to that, you guys. And that's it for today. That's it for today. I can't say anything better to top that. More jobs back to America. Love it. We'll be back tomorrow, though, you guys. Again, the Freight Coach Morning Show. We are the top show in transportation, going live every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down industry headlines and provide some actual insight in there. And again, as we're going to start doing every single day now, if you have any sales or operations questions related to the transportation industry, DM me on social media. Drop them in the comments. Anytime you see me post something out there, drop those in the comments out there. I monitor all that stuff. I'll see them. And if it's something worthwhile, I'll bring it up on the show. Again, I don't forget about what got me here, and that was putting out those little sales and operations based videos. And this is a way for me to incorporate everything back in to my current content load and everything else, so I can still keep bringing the value out there, you guys, because that's what it's all about, you guys, is the messages I get from people that are saying that they're applying what I'm saying and seeing a difference in their business. That shit means the world to me. If you guys saw value in this, though, do me a favor, share the show. Because if you guys see value in it, your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys all so much, and we'll be talking to you soon.